Good morning, y'all. I'm making some snack food today. I got to looking at my calendar and, well, actually, I Googled it and found out that the Super Bowl Sunday is February the 7th. So I thought between now and then I would just do some recipes for Super Bowl snack food and dinners. So, because there's only two things I like about Super Bowl. Number one, I love the commercials. I like to see all the new commercials that come out because some of them are really cute. Some of them not so much, but anyhow, I like to see the commercials. And the second thing is I love the food. Football I could care less about. But anyhow, just want to let you know that. And I'm going to start by making some stuffed mushrooms. I've got some portobello mushrooms, the big, they're the stuffing kind. You can buy smaller ones if you want smaller ones, but this would be enough for me and Bob to do some. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff them with a sausage and breadcrumbs and onions and garlic and Parmesan cheese and just see how that goes. I'm just going to kind of make this recipe up as I go. Hopefully it'll turn out good and I'll print it out for y'all. But the first thing I'm going to do, I've got a package of Jimmy Dean original sausage. And this is way too much for those 6 mushrooms. So I'm going to cook it all up. I'm going to separate out what I'll use for the mushrooms, and then the rest of it, I'm going to go ahead and do like my friend Ann does with ground beef, and I'm going to put it in little baggies and put it in the freezer, and that way I'll have already cooked sausage ready for my next recipe. So I'm just going to get this right on in here in the skillet and turn the fire on. And just start putting it in little chunks and let it start cooking. So when this is done, I'll get back with you, okay? Okay, I'm back. As you can see, let me show you. This sausage is browned really good, and this is how much I'm taking out to put up in the freezer. Because I only need just a little bit for these 6 mushrooms. So now I'm going to add in about 1/4 of a chopped up onion. So this is a half, so I'm going to put about 1/4 in there. And let that brown a little bit with the meat as it finishes. That smells wonderful, y'all. Really wonderful. I'll add a little garlic in there with that too. Just about out of this garlic. Yeah, I got about 1/4 of a teaspoon there. That's all that really was. Yeah. Get the aroma in there. Smells great. All right. Leave that all ready. Pan for a minute while I prepare the mushrooms. Let me get them out of the package and show you what I'm going to do with them. So there's stems in the bottom of these. I'm going to pull these stems out. You have to kind of twist it. Let me get this stuff off my chopping board here. Turn this camera down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to pull the stem out of the center of this mushroom because we're going to save that stem. We're going to use it. So I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of squish around in there and get, so we have a nice little part in there that we can stuff. Have to make a little hole big enough to stuff. So I'm going to do that with all of these, and then I'm going to cut off the end of that. Then I'm going to chop these little stems up like this and add them right in here with my meat, like that. So I'll do that with each one of these, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm back, and I've got the sausage and onions and little chunks of mushroom stems all mixed in here together. I took it out of the skillet. Now I'm going to stir in about 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, just to kind of help hold it all together. I took 1 slice of Swiss cheese and cut it into little tiny cubes, as you can see. And I'm going to put those in there because I think they'll melt nicely. Stir those in. And now I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese. Put about 1/4 cup of that in here. And we may top it with some Parmesan cheese too. Just get that. Now this looks like way more than will fit in these 6 cups, so I may wind up putting some of it in a little ramekin and just cooking it by itself without being inside of the mushroom. Any of it that's left over at least. Alright, now what am I going to do to make this all stick together? You can see it's just dry ingredients in there, right? So I'm going to take some ranch dressing, and I think I'll start with 1/4 cup of that and see if that gets it wet enough to stick together. Let's see how that does. So I want it to just stick together enough that we can get it in these mushroom caps. Still looks kind of dry. I may have to put another 1/4 cup. So I know this cheese is going to melt some. That's going to help. Like I said, I'm just making this recipe up, which, you know, shows you can just make up your own recipes too. You can take this and just run with it. If you've got different kinds of cheeses, you just use different kind of cheeses, or leave out the cheese. And I have made it with nothing but the breadcrumbs and the mushroom stems and some garlic. You know, it's just whatever you want to stuff in your mushrooms. It'll be good. I promise you. People will love it. Just the fact that you went to the trouble to do it. You know? Alright, now see, that looks more like it's sticking together enough that I can dip it up and put it in these mushroom caps. So I'm going to take this big one right here and just kind of stuff it down in there best I can. I'm just going to keep, it's nice to have it just piled up a little bit on top. You know that cheese is going to melt down in there. Doesn't that look good, y'all? Yeah, I'm going to finish stuffing all of these. I'm going to get them in an oven. I got my oven preheating to 350, and that tastes good. Just lick my thumb. And I'm going to get my oven, it's preheating to 350. I'm going to put these in there, I'm thinking maybe about 20 minutes. May take a little longer. I'll just keep an eye on them. Well, the oven's ready. So I want to tell you another little funny story about football though. When my grandson was younger, so several years ago, because he's 15 now, he played football, and I went up to watch him play their last game, and I don't remember if they won or lost, but whatever. It was still a good season for him, and he learned a lot. And his dad was one of the assistant coaches or something. Anyhow, when they got in the truck, I was in the truck with my son and my grandson, and my son asked my grandson, didn't you just love that? Aren't you ready to play again next year? And my grandson chimed in from the back seat, and he said, Dad, there's only two things I like about football. Number one, knocking people down. And number two, the snacks. Because believe me, all those moms brought great snacks for after the game, and he just loved all that. Anyhow, that was just a little funny thing that I remembered while I was putting this together and thinking about Super Bowl. So I'll be back with y'all in just a little bit. Hey y'all, I've already stuffed these. Look, see, I got all 6 of them stuffed, and I mean they're really stuffed piled high. And I still had this much left over, about a half a bowl. So I went in the refrigerator looking for something else I could stuff, and I found this pack of zucchini that we had in there. So I've taken one and cut it in half. It was like that. I cut it in half, and then I took my little serrated grapefruit knife and kind of cut out the center part. I'm saving that because I can have that when I cook my zucchini, just my regular way of cooking zucchini. But I'm going to stuff these two halves and just pile that on there. May even have to use another one, I'm not sure. This just made so much. It's not going to go to waste, believe me. I'll be back with you in a minute and show you what I did. All right, y'all, that did the trick. Look here how cool that looks. See, I've got 6 nice stuffed mushrooms and 2 zucchini boats. So that's going to be a really good treat. We'll probably eat this zucchini boats for dinner, but these mushrooms, they're probably going to wind up being an afternoon snack. Just saying. I'm going to put it in the oven now. I'll be right back with you. Okay, y'all, I think I've shared this with you before, but I just wanted to share it again. This Food Saver machine is awesome. If you don't have one, you might want to consider getting one. What I do is I buy the little bags. This is a quart-sized bag, and I'm going to write on the bottom that this is in January of 21, and I'm going to put sausage on there. That way I'll know that's some sausage I prepared this month, and I'm going to dump it in here. Let's see if I can do this for y'all and see if I may have to give us a spoon. Let's do it this way. Just get this sausage all up in here. Spoon's just about worthless. And I got sausage going everywhere. All right, so I got that sausage in the bag. I got some on the counter here. Sorry. All right, so you get that sausage down in the bag like this. You open the machine up, and you just put this right in the little slot, close the machine down, lock it, and tell it to vacuum and seal. Well, I'm going to have it plugged in for a minute. Vacuum and seal. I don't know if you can see that good enough, but you see how it sucks all the air out of there, and then it'll seal it. So it's sealing now. When the little red light goes off, that means it's sealed, and I can put it on out in the freezer. So this is an awesome little machine to have, and it makes it really good for putting your stuff on out in the freezer. So just want y'all to know that. Thanks. Okay, y'all, I just took these out of the oven. Looks like the mushrooms are ready. I'm not sure about the zucchini. It might not be tender enough, so let me stick it with a fork and see. This is still a little bit tough, so I'm going to take the mushrooms off the tray and put the zucchini back in the oven for a few more minutes. I'll get back with you. Okay, so here's my official taster, Bob, and he's gonna take a little bite of this. Now, remember, it might be kind of hot.
Good football food.
Good deal, thanks. Hey y'all, I'm back. Just got the zucchini out of the oven, let it cool off just a few minutes. I did wind up cooking the mushrooms. They were cooked 20 minutes. And then I cooked this zucchini another 10 minutes. And it looks pretty tender now. I hope it will be. Anyhow, you see how good it looks though. And I'm gonna try a taste now. Oh y'all. That is so flavorful. You're gonna love it. So that just proves that anytime you take sausage, onions, garlic, some breadcrumbs, some ranch dressing, mix it all together, put some Parmesan cheese and a little Swiss cheese in there, you can stuff it in anything and it tastes good. Or you could just put it in a little ramekin, melt that cheese, and eat it like that. Anyhow, that's about all the cooking I'm gonna do today. I've got dinner. We're having some leftover cabbage soup, leftover stuffed mushrooms and zucchini, and we're good. We've got some leftover cornbread too, so it's gonna be leftover night. So I'm spending the rest of the afternoon in my sewing room because I love sewing. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Hope you have a blessed Sunday afternoon and do what God puts on your heart to do. Love you. Bye-bye.